Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies, and today I'm going to be looking at this particular kit here. It's a very compact Dora Wings kit of the GB. This is the R1 and also the R2 aircraft. So these were used in 1932 and perhaps after that as well for trophy races around the States, and also one of them was designed more for pylon racing. So even though they look very similar there, I'll point out what the finer details of the differences are, and we'll have a look at the kit too. So these are really cute 1/144 scale aircraft. So just from the overhead camera, you see the box art there. All right, so you've got the R1 and you've got the R2. Basically the same sort of shapes. The main differences are the engines were different. Okay, so the cowlings are different here. The R1 has a chunkier cowling. The R2 has a more streamlined cowling. This is the engine that they used off their earlier Z model. This is a newer engine there. And then all the rest of here is pretty much the same. The other finer detail, which is harder to see physically, is the R2 also had a steerable tail wheel. Okay, so if we have a look inside. All right, so you can see it's all very, very compact. You've got the two aircraft, they're all molded onto the one sprue. Then we've got the instruction manual in here as well with the decals and such. So we'll look at that a bit later. All right, let's have a close look at this sprue. So there's only one here. I'll zoom in and we'll have a bit of a better look. All right, let's just focus that. All right, so that's actually the R2 we're looking at there. Let's go to the R1. All right, so that's the R1 on this side. So the R1, the main difference is around the cowl, it's much more straight edged. Even though these are tiny, you can see the size of my finger compared to the fuselage there. You got very fine ribbing where all the fabric is stretched around the framework. You can just see here, this is the open section for the cockpit. The cockpit was unusual in that it was mounted at the front of the vertical stabilizer. You've got the wings here. Got the aerodynamic struts, the wheel pants. Got the seat, engine detail, and then you've got the other side of the fuselage, and the tail wheels are already attached there, and you've got the other wing as well. So if we go across here to the R2. So R2 has got that streamlined cowling. All the rest of it is going to be the same. The wings are the same. All the rest of it that you see here is the same, but this engine here is going to be different. And then there's the other side of the fuselage and the other wing. So if we have, I don't know if you're able to pick up the differences between these two engines. You might see that the diameter is slightly different because they're two different engines. And it's these slight differences that make it quite interesting, and I quite like the way that they've allowed you to be able to build both on the one sprue. Okay, so that's all the plastic components, and they're all really nice. You can see there's no flash. Very cute indeed. All right, so we go over here, we've got the manual. Okay, so got the manual here, you've got the legend of all the parts. Little symbols here that you follow as you go through. There's also a window mask, which we'll see shortly. Not window mask, the painting mask for the red and the white. And then the decals. So here we go, we've got the decals and such in here with the masks. Pop that aside. And as you can imagine, small kits, the assembly will be really quite simple. So that's why they give you basically the same instructions for building both, just the alternative number for whichever engine is used for the R1 or the R2. So you've got the engine here, your radial, which is sandwiched between the two fuselage halves with the cockpit seat. Wings are stuck on, you've got the horizontal stabilizers. And then the propellers, there's two different props, which I didn't mention before. There's a different one for the R1 and the R2. And then you've got the undercarriage. And then we get into the painting stage. So you get your classic white and red, and the masks which are included so you can get these swept patterns. Okay, so that's your R2 right here. And this is the R1 here. And then we've got this packet of decals and masks. Okay, so a small pack of decals. So you've got one here for the registration numbers for the R1 and the R2. And you've got some fine stenciling there as well, which is all very nice. Okay, and then there's the pre-cut masks. So I'll bring those up here. Not so easy to see, but these are all pre-cut on some, it's probably an aura mask or such, vinyl type masking. You just peel these off, put them onto the plane after you've painted the white section, and then you'll be able to paint the red and get all the fancy livery on it. Okay, so there we go. So that is pretty much my open box review of the Dora Wings 1:1 144 scale R1 and R2 GB racers. Thank you for watching.